guys, this is Himanshi. Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is one of its kind and a very special video. Today's video is related to plants and this is my first plant video. You all know by now I am a plant parent of more than 60 plants now. I'm a plant lover and in this video I'll talk about how you can make more plants from your existing plants even in this lockdown. Yes, we are in lockdown again. Anyway, we are going to propagate 3 easy plants in water and they can be kept indoors as well as outdoors. So let's get started. Number 1 on my list is Pothos or money plant. In order to propagate money plant, you need to find a node. A node is a point where your leaves are starting to grow, and that is the point where your roots will also start to grow in the cutting. So this where I'm pointing right here is the node of the plant where your leaf is coming. This is also the point where your root will start to grow. So you need to make a cut right below the node and make sure your cutting has not more than 2 to 3 leaves. Otherwise the cutting will be stressed on growing the leaves and your roots will not be formed. As you can see, I've made a cut right below the node and my cutting has not more than 3 leaves. Now what I'm going to do is take a container, add some water to it, and now I'll dip the part from where the node is growing. I'll not dip the entire cutting in water because if you submerge the leaves in the water, they will start to rot and your roots will not be formed, your plant will not be growing. Money plants are one of my favorite ones to propagate. They are the easiest ones to propagate and you'll see after just a few days this is how your roots are going to get formed. And if you just want to add greenery to a place, be it in soil or without soil, money plant does really well in both the conditions and it just adds a nice color, a nice green bright color to your place, and a place immediately pops up whenever you add plants to it. Now you can also take a plastic container or a steel container. After a few weeks, this is how your roots are going to look. Now I wanted to keep this one in water only, but if you want to transplant this cutting to a soil, better to transplant when your roots are smaller in size because that's when your plant can adjust really well in the soil. Number 2 on my list is Coleus. Coleus has such beautiful and vibrant leaves. This one was a gift on my last birthday, so I wanted to multiply this. Now any other videos that you're going to see, they are going to tell you make a cutting and directly start propagating it in the soil, but trust me, I've done that 3 times and I have failed. Then finally I thought I should experiment and propagate Coleus in water and you will not believe the results. Since I've already propagated it and I don't want other cuttings, I propagated it right from here and I'm not going to cut any more cuttings from this plant, but I'm going to show you how you can find your nodes in Coleus. Again, your node is a point where your leaves are starting to grow. So as you can see here, the leaves are growing from this point and you have to make a cutting right below where your leaves are growing. I took my cutting with around 6 to 7 leaves and it still worked fine for me. If you want, you can take around 2 to 3 leaves, that would also do well. But even if you're taking more leaves in Coleus, that works fine. I'm showing you another node here. Right below the leaf is where you have to make a cut. Now try and take a soft cutting from Coleus, not a hard cutting like this one. What I'm trying to say is take a cutting which is still green and not brown in color. I'll show you how my cutting looks only in a few days. Again, make sure you dip the part where your stem is, not the leaves, otherwise the leaves will rot. This is how the roots have started to grow. I will transplant it in soil within 2 to 3 days because the roots are small and this is the right time to shift it in soil. As you can see, only the node part of my cutting is dipped in water and the other half is outside the glass bottle. Now I also did another experiment with the leaves of Coleus that I removed from this cutting, and the results were unbelievable. I just put the leaves in water and as you can see, the roots have started to grow even from the leaves. So there are chances that you can also propagate Coleus from the leaves, but now that I'm recording it and I have already made these experiments in the soil as well, I would like to tell you that the stem cutting does better than the leaf cuttings. Only a few of the leaf cuttings survived and not all of them survived, so there are high chances from the stem. Number 3 on my list is Syngonium or the Arrowhead plant. I don't have a parent plant to show you because I got these cuttings from a neighbor's house. So if you don't have a parent plant, maybe you can get the cuttings from a park, or you can ask your neighbors or your friends to give you a cutting. I had one cutting and I made 4 cuttings out of the same. You have to do the same thing. Cut it from right below the node. This is the node of Syngonium where the roots might start to develop. Syngonium gets aerial roots as well, so it's easier to identify in Syngonium and money plant where the roots might start growing. For all these plants, I suggest you to change the water every 2 to 3 days. Otherwise, the cuttings might start to rot and the water becomes very dirty, so it is also unhygienic. I dipped these cuttings in the water on the same day, but that one has not grown any roots yet, whereas these ones have started to develop roots. They are very tiny right now, but the roots have started developing. The roots might start developing within 7 to 10 days. Sometimes they might just not develop for some cuttings. So it's completely okay. Make sure you have more than 2 to 3 cuttings so that you are not disappointed by the end. I use a clear container so that I can always keep a check on my roots, whether they are rotting, whether I have to change the water, whether my water is dirty. It helps me in keeping a check on the plant. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you want me to make more plant related videos, tell me in the comment section below. I'll see you guys next time with another video. Make sure to like, share and subscribe to my channel. Till then, take care, bye bye and stay safe.